Welcome to week 3 in our series entitled Labels, Freeing Ourselves from People's Faulty Perceptions of Us. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Judy and I'm the host of this broadcast. Please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that share button so that we can get this information out to as many people as possible. And also drop me a comment below. Let me know where you're joining me from and also how this series has helped you so far. If you've missed the first 2 weeks, don't worry. You can go on any of my social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel, and you can get caught up. Week 1, we discovered where labels came from, and we talked about their proper use. In week 2, we talked about the dangers of mislabeling. We covered things like allergies and how it can be the difference between death and life for someone who has a serious allergy and if something is mislabeled. We talked about packages that get mislabeled and how they'll never reach their proper destination if the shipping label is incorrect. So this week, we want to talk about label removers. How do we finally get rid of the negative, toxic labels that people have put on us or that we've put on ourselves? So let's dive right in. How do you get rid of a stubborn label? You know the ones that I'm talking about. The labels that no matter what you do, you try to soak them off, you try to scrape it off. No matter what you do, you cannot get this label off. So you have to go to the hardware store, you have to get this magical substance called Goo Gone, and finally you're able to get that stubborn label off. Well, Goo Gone is wonderful. It works for literal labels. But what's the Goo Gone for the labels on your soul? What's the Goo Gone for the labels in your heart and in your mind? Those negative labels that have been there so long that you don't even notice them anymore. You've just made up your mind that you're going to live with them for the rest of your life, and you just cover them up, hoping that nobody sees them. How do you get rid of those kinds of labels? It's not impossible. It actually is doable. The first step is you need to make up your mind that you want to get rid of this label. You have to finally decide that this label that's been put on you, and I'm just going to use this as an example, the label of insecurity, the label of fear, the label of not enough, whatever label you may have succumbed to, failure, mistake, disappointment, you can get rid of that label. And today we're going to talk about what the Goo Gone is for those negative, toxic labels. Are you ready to dig in? Let's do this. It's easier than you think. It's not impossible. The first step is you need to make up your mind. The second step is you need to use the tools that you have. You see, the tool to get rid of a negative, toxic label that is in your heart or your mind or in your soul, it's right under your nose. The proper tool is right under your nose. It's your mouth. That's right. It's your mouth. What do you say about yourself? Have you been labeled so long that you've gotten into agreement with it, and it's what you speak about yourself? In order for you to change and in order for you to be free, you are going to have to start speaking differently. So step 1, say for instance, you struggle with insecurity. Every day that you wake up, the thought goes through your head, I'm not enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not successful enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not enough. That has to change. And the way you do it is like this. Tomorrow morning when you get up, the first thing you do is look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I am enough. Now it's going to be awkward at first. It's just like trying on a new pair of shoes or trying to break them in. It takes a while before you get used to it. But I promise you, if you keep at it, it will become just as natural to you as brushing your teeth every day. You're probably saying, Judy, it cannot be that easy. You don't know how long this label has been on me. It's more like a tattoo now than it is a label. If that was your response when I mentioned how easy it is to get rid of toxic negative labels just by using your mouth, If that was your initial response, my question to you is, what do you have to lose? Do you want to change? Do you finally want to be free, to be who you really are? What do you have to lose? Why not give it a try? Tomorrow morning when you get up, you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I am enough. And then I want you to make notes in paper that is your favorite color and put it everywhere that you are going to be. Put it in the bathroom, put it in your car, put it in your bedroom, put it in your office, put it wherever you're going to be. So everywhere you look, you see that same message, I am enough. And you keep saying it. You say it over and over and over. What you're shooting for is the day that you say it and you actually believe it. That's when real change begins to happen. You see, you frame your world with the words that you speak. People don't realize how powerful the words that come out of their mouth are. They either hurt or they heal. They either do damage or they help. We must be sure that the words that we're speaking out of our mouth, especially words about ourselves, are positive, uplifting, and affirming. So you keep at it every day when you look in the mirror and you finally believe it. I am enough. Now you can add some different things to it. I am a great wife. I am an amazing mother. I am intelligent. I am valuable. I matter. My life matters. I contribute to society and I have a bright future. Now you are beginning to get in line with exactly why you were put on this planet. Do you know how valuable you are? Let me give you an example. There are over 7.5 billion people on the planet, and there's not one person that's exactly like you. Not one. No one has your fingerprints. No one has your exact DNA. You were perfectly designed. You were perfectly planned. You are not a mistake. You are not a disappointment, and you are not a failure. You are a unique masterpiece and one of a kind. You have to look at it this way. Those negative, toxic labels that people have put on you over the years or that you've put on yourself, they've been found guilty. Guilty of attempted robbery. They've tried to steal your joy. They've tried to steal your happiness. They've tried to steal your self-worth, and ultimately their goal was to steal your entire life. And the sentence that has been pronounced on them is death. And the way that that sentence is carried out is by your words. I know it's graphic, but it's effective. Every time you speak the right words, you are condemning a death sentence on those negative, toxic, constricting labels that have been put on you for years, either by other people or by yourself. Your words are the proverbial glue gun for those awful, stubborn labels that have refused to leave your soul. They've refused to leave your mind. They're actually trying to take up residence. And your words will be the final sentence that permanently evicts them. Every time you speak a positive affirmation, every time you speak out of your mouth, I am valuable, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, you are pronouncing again the death sentence on those negative labels, those toxic labels that people try to put on you for all those years. But you have to be consistent. It's just like going to the gym. You're not going to get in shape if you just go to the gym one day out of the month. You're not going to see real change in your life if you only speak the right things out of your mouth once a week, once a month. You must do it every day. You have to do it until it becomes natural to you. When it becomes natural to you, you will begin to believe it. What you're shooting for is that it becomes a part of you, that you absolutely know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you're saying is the truth about you. So what will you do with these new tools that you have? This powerful tool that is right under your nose. My hope is that you keep that tool sharp and you use it for good and not evil. In this society, you're going to need to use that tool often. Don't let small-minded people with unrealistic expectations put toxic negative labels back on you. Today, you learned about the Gugon that can take all of that nastiness out of your heart and out of your soul, out of your mind. Take control of your life. You deserve to be happy. Happiness is a choice. It's not someone else's responsibility. But beginning to speak about yourself the right way and to think about yourself the right way is the first step into finding that freedom. Thank you so much for taking time to join me today. And again, if you like this content, hit that like button, hit the share button so that we can encourage as many people as possible. And I look forward to seeing you again next week as we continue our series on labels, freeing ourselves from people's faulty perceptions of us. Have a great week.